Good morning, everybody. This is Jeff J. Brown in now beautiful, sunny Qionghai, Hainan, the huge island south of Shenzhen, off the coast of Vietnam. And when we got since we got here, it's been cold and overcast. Temperature dropped about 10 degrees the day we got here because of a big typhoon. Apparently south of the Philippines, which just blanketed southern China, including Hainan, and misty fog. So now we can look out our 26 story apartment with beautiful windows and terraces and see the ocean. It's just the South China Sea. It's just beautiful. Anyway, this is actually the second time I'm doing this recording because I did it the first time and I had my laptop on, funny enough, on my lap. And then I realized after I looked at it that it was moving all over the place. I guess I should have gotten a degree in audiovisual sciences. Anyway, I'm sicker than a dog. I don't feel good. I got a cold, and I'm drinking and a sore throat, and I'm drinking coffee. My wife and I brought our Yunnan coffee and our coffee maker and there because we just can't get good coffee in small town China, and so it's the worst thing in the world for my throat, but it's what my body craves right now. I don't feel good at all. So I'm doing this the second time for you people, so you all can get the friends and fans and followers of China Rising Radio Sinoland, so you all can get bigger, better, faster, taller, all around more super duper informed about what the headlines are really saying. Let's get started. This one is entitled U.S. Sending Thousands of Marines. I'll try not to do that again. To Asia to stop China's Belt and Road system. And there's a picture and of course, there's just umpteen hyperlinks. So get to the SoundCloud and YouTube channels where I will put the link to the article on China Rising, or just go to the blog on the China Rising site. There's a picture of U.S. and Korean Marines, and it says, Americans and South Korean Marines practicing destroying Asian highways, bridges, ports, trains, pipelines, satellites, and fiber optics. It's all a Chinese pinko commie conspiracy, and it's got to stop now. And please, when finished reading, listening to, or watching this column and podcast, sharing is caring about humanity's future and getting the non-mainstream truth out to a wider audience. Please tell your family and friends and colleagues about China Rising Radio Sinoland. Post and follow it on all your social media. Sign up for the email alerts on this blog page so you don't miss a beat. China is your key to understanding how the world works and where you are headed into the 21st century. So read the China trilogy. You'll be so glad you did. All right, here's the article. It's going to be fun. Let me take a sip of tannic acid-filled coffee for my raw throat. Japan and South Korea are already occupied American colonies, brimming with 50,000 and 30,000 red, white, and blue centurions, respectively. Not to mention that the imperial satrap Australia has 1,250 and growing, and in Guam another 7,000. Did I forget to mention that Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte is trying to kick out of his country 6,000 jarheads who practice invading China and North Korea from there? All told, we are knocking on 100,000 American troops, hundreds of military bases, housing hundreds of weapon-laden airplanes, and hundreds of nuclear warheads, all to encircle China, North Korea, and Russia's eastern flank. On top of all these bristling boots in Asia, the U.S. Navy is stationing 60% of its entire global fleet off the coast of China to prove to the Chinese that the South China Sea is not Chinese after all, even though the Chinese have been sailing there and doing international trade, fishing, and diplomacy for the last 5,000 years. Take that, scourge of Asia, you yellow peril. But that's not enough. For empire, it never is enough. Now, Baba Beijing, China's communist leadership, must be shaking in its boots, pissing its drawers. I won't show you that. Pissing its drawers, shitting its pants. I won't show you that either. And strategizing a humiliating retreat. Fear the force. Run for your lives. It's going to be a rout, boys and girls. Oh my God. OMG. Oh my God. Uncle Sam is planning to send even more thousands of America's toughest, meanest, badass, a tin hut Marines to Asia. Why? Well, here it is, straight from the horse's mouth. U.S. Marines Commandant General Robert Neller. And I quote, "We have to be present and engaged to compete, to persuade Pacific nations to stand with the U.S. and not with China. We have to be present and engaged to compete," highlighting Commander-in-Chief Donald Trump's brand spanking new, same old, tired imperial national defense strategy, abbreviated the NDS. The NDS will shape our future naval presence, especially in the Indo-Pacific region. I believe it and other guidance requires us to adopt a more global posture, and this will shape our future naval presence, especially in the Indo-Pacific region, chanted Kaiser Neller. Of course, don't worry, China. According to Herr Neller, this redeployment is merely, quote, a global resetting of forces, not a buildup for war. They will only be there to intervene if a conflict were to break out. I wonder which side is likely to pull off a false flag in order to justify a conflict to break out. I wonder. Now, compare this surreal Dr. Strangelove fantasy to China, which is peacefully and cooperatively working with its Asian neighbors to transform the region via Baba Beijing's visionary Belt and Road Initiative, abbreviated the BRI. Some more acid-fueled coffee, excuse me. But at least it's hot and wet. All right. Together, from Indonesia to Pakistan to Russia to the Philippines and most other countries in between, they are connecting their infrastructure and trade together with ports, airports, trains, highways, bridges, pipelines, satellites, fiber optics, fintech, cultural events, education, and tourism into a holistic network. They are using their very own Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, abbreviated AIIB, to finance this plethora of connective projects, not to mention BRICS, the consortium of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So go ahead, Uncle Sam, and send in those badass take-no-prisoners U.S. Marines. There is a long list of 21st century Asian infrastructure and development to destroy. Below is a photo on America's Asian battlefront, an ode to the West's thousands of global imperial wars, invasions, and occupations, which are one long, continuous My Lai massacre every day, every hour, everywhere. Not just the West's, but all wars, for all time. War is hell on earth for soldiers and civilians alike. Living madness. It's what distinguishes us from all other species. Our dehumanization, genocide, extermination, rape, and plunder. And it's all based on racism, something that is easy to overlook. To say that war turns good people into animals is an insult to all other creatures in this magnificent kingdom. And there's a picture of some American Marines, of course, invading a beach somewhere here in Asia. This is the daily dialogue of war between soldiers and the U.S. Army. See that new bridge? Bomb it, boy. Hey, Isn't that a high-speed train station? Send in the F-35s and that shiny new international airport. Tomahawk the shit out of it, Bubba. Over there, that new deep water port, torch it with napalm. And that fiber optics terminal, hand me that rocket-propelled grenade launcher. It's time to go on a turkey shoot, Jerry. Just like those blanket-ass engines back home and those stupid sand niggers in the Middle East, we know what's good for them, Buford. We're going to bring them peace, prosperity, and democracy to these godless gooks. Nothing but a bunch of yeller-livered zipperheads anyways. I'm telling you, they don't deserve to live another day. But before that, we got some little girls to ride hard. Virgin poontang for the taking, boys. Me first. Was I in character? This is Jeff J. Brown signing out from China Rising Radio Sinoland from Qionghai, Hainan. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.